Patterson before, but now we're gonna actually take what you've done with reading it and we're gonna apply it to making a graphic representation of the play. So basically you're going to create a cartoon strip using a website called Pixton that allows you to go through and change the characters, make them look like you want them to, add backgrounds, add props. It's going to be a lot of fun. But before we can get to the fun part of that, we need to plan and figure out what we're going to do. So your graphic organizer that you have today is to help you figure out what you want. So you're thinking like a director and trying to put together a cartoon movie. How do you want it to look? What backgrounds are there? What props are there? What are the characters wearing? How do they look? What are their features? Are they upset? Are they happy? Are they disappointed? Where does that change in the play? And so you're going to use what you know in the story to help figure that out. So today, the more that you get planned, the easier and more fun we will have on Wednesday when we go into the lab and work on the Chromebooks and put this all together. Okay? So the first section that you're going to look at is the dialogue. With this, you're looking for the most important pieces. There's a lot of dialogue in there that's not necessarily going to help somebody understand what's going on in the play. So your goal is to make your cartoon represent what's going on. So you want to look at what's the key things that are being said. So if you're looking through the lines, that doesn't mean you have to write the entire line either. You can condense it and shorten it up to what's the most important part. And it's going to be a cartoon director version of like a dialogue bubble, okay? So you need to think of what's short and concise but still tells what's going on. You'll notice on here you have your narrators 1 and 2 and I think sometimes 3. Those guys are actually giving you the stage directions of what the characters are doing. For instance, in scene 1 it talks about Midas throwing the coins. Those are actually going to come into your character movements. They also give you props. For instance, what prop would you need in that scene? Coins. All right, so that tells you what to write down. It also gives you the background. Where is he at when he's in there? The treasury room. So you want to think about what does that treasury room look like? What would you have in there? That's going to help you out with both your props and your backgrounds. So use those key things to help you decide what it's going to look like. Now, all of yours are going to look different. All your characters are going to look different. But at the end, we're going to put all the scenes together and make one story of the play. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay. So we talked about our dialogues, the character. The props, remember, those are things that the characters are going to use. Anything that's not part of the background and not part of the character's clothing is a prop. So picture in your mind what you think they need to have. For instance, the butterflies that turn to gold, the roses that turn to gold, those different things need to be there. And then your backgrounds, where they're at and what it looks like. Obviously that's going to change from one scene to another. But where are they mostly at? In a castle. Alright, so you're going to look for a castle. Within Pixton, keep forgetting the website name, within Pixton they allow you to choose different backgrounds and they have like a series put together. So you can look for a castle and then it'll have different scenes of the castle. So you have different rooms in different places and you can utilize that to help make your scene work. Okay? Just make sure you're going through and using those clues. And like I said, the more you plan today, the easier it's going to be on Wednesday. Wednesday, you're going to go in and just start working right away. I'll show you how to manipulate it first, and then you'll start actually just doing it or working. Sound good? Yes. Does anyone have any questions at this point? Okay, as you're working, you're probably going to come up with more and more questions. That's okay. Raise your hand, and Ms. Patterson and I will be very happy to help you. Okay? All right, go ahead and start working. Oh, sorry, scenes. Sorry, I forgot. You're going to be scene 1 for me, scene 2, scene 3, scene 4. Yeah? I need your eyes so I can tell you that you're hearing me. You're scene 4, scene 5, scene 6, scene 7, scene 8, 9, oh no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Yeah, make sure you have that in there. All right. Make sure you're putting in your first and last name and the last 4 digits of your school ID number. You got it? All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen real quickly. Your password, as I said, was the same password that you use when you log into iStations on our regular computers. Once you have hit enter, it's going to give you a set of options for pictures. That's just the logo for you to use later on. It does not matter to this, so just click on it real quickly and move on from there. After you have that, you need to go online. I see a couple people already have the Wood Creek website loaded. That's what you need. Make sure you're there. Give everyone just 1 minute to get there. Okay, once you're on the Wood Creek website, you scroll down to where it has the different options and departments you can go to. Click on library. Everyone needs to click on library. Once you scroll down under the library tabs on the side. All right, so once we're on this is a symbol loop that has a lot of great links for different resources. Ms. Summers set this up, so it actually has a lot of stuff for research if you need that later on. But we're first going to the bottom and clicking on Pixton. So you can click on that. Once we're on that screen, you're going to scroll down and hit enter for fun, or Pixton for fun, and enter. Mine's already logged in, so it's not doing that for us. But, let me go back, sorry. Let's try this. Alright, it should give you the option to either log in or sign up. You want to click on sign up. Okay? Within there's a series of questions. It's going to ask for a username. It doesn't have to be your name, but it can be, or a nickname, something that you'll remember, a password, and then your age, and then again your email address twice. With this, if you have a personal email address, feel free to use it. If you do not, you can actually use the same email address you use to log into the Chromebook. So your first, last name, and then the last 4 digits of your student ID at humbleisd.net. Once you have finished putting all that information, before you go on to the next screen, you're going to use your paper that you used to plan. You're going to flip it over to the back, put down your email address, your password, and your screen name on that paper. When you are done with this assignment, that paper is going to be turned into me, and that's how I'm going to be able to pull out your cartoon, grade it, and print it. Okay? So you need to make sure you have that information on the paper, so when you turn it in, I can actually give you a grade. It's very important.
Where's your paper?
Alright, once you have written down your information and you've typed in your password and your emails and all that information, you're going to hit I accept. That's going to take you to another page that has a bunch of check marks on it talking about the trial errors. Things at the bottom of that page, there's a button where it says continue. Please click the continue button. And I will show you what to do for that.
Okay, what you need is something.
Oh, it was nothing.
Okay.
Unpaid.
You get it?
I'm up with time. Are you guys in the
Yes, ma'am.
You're going to go to the bottom where it says accept. Click on that. It's going to take you to a page that shows you information about the trial and the basic format. You're on trial right now, which is great because it allows you to do a lot more than the basic. And then it has a paid version. You're just going to scroll down to the bottom of that and click continue. Okay, so once you're there, is going to look similar to what my screen shows up here. Mine's already logged in. Whether you're ready for this or not, I want you to pay attention. We're going to go up to where it has the 3 lines. This means there's more options. We're going to click on comics. Yours will not have anything on it. It will allow you to create a comic. So go ahead and click on create comics. I'm going to go to my part will allow me to do that. Here you'll have 3 different options for a layout. One of the things with the trial is the storyboard and the graphic novel aspect are part of your trial. I expired my trial. I just scroll down to the bottom and continue. Alright, and then you're going to click on storyboard. So I can't do that on mine, but you're going to do it on yours. Once you hit storyboard, it's going to give you the options of the size of your panel. I want you to click on widescreen. Once you hit widescreen, it's going to ask you for the type of format or the layout. I want you to use the one that says title and description. Title and description. After it asks for your title and description, it's going to ask you for the level. So I'm going to do mine real quick. It asks for beginner or advanced. The beginner gets really frustrating really fast because it's very limited on what you can do. So click on the advanced. You can make it as simple as or complicated as you want as you go through it. Okay, see several of you are catching up or getting there. Alright, so once we are to the screen where it has our cartoon that we can edit, the first thing that you can do is look on the side tabs. It has where you can add a character, add speech bubbles, add props, or add background. We're going to add a background first. So if you click on this, you guys are doing the play Agatha Rex. Where is the setting for that?
School.
School. Now if you remember at the very beginning of the play, it talks about the fact that it could be done in something like a prison just because the rigidity of the setting in the school. So you could do a prison as well, which is an option here. We're just going to look for the school setting. So you can click through, and I missed it somehow. Hang on. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Sorry. So once I click on the school, it actually gives me several different scenes within a school. So you can click on the science lab, the hallway, the lockers, the classroom, another scene for the classroom. You can choose whichever one best fits what your scene's doing. Just for the sake of our example here, I'm going to click on the lockers. So once I have that in place, I can actually zoom out to make a little bit smaller, or I can make it bigger based on what I want to do. Also at the bottom here, I can change the color of the background. So if I want the walls to be gray or the lockers to be gray, I can make that happen. I just did that a minute ago. There it is. Okay, so I want the walls to be gray just because it's a boring place. All right, so I can adjust that. Once I'm done there, the next part of what you'll do is you're going to add characters. So make sure you're paying attention to this. Once you've added characters and have presets, they're going to be in here, or they have preset characters for you to choose from. If they do not look exactly like what you want, that's okay, because you can go back in and change it later. But this just gives you a starting point. So once you click on somebody, they're in your picture. You have the option of sizing them to make them bigger or smaller. Oops. You have the option of editing their expressions, so you can zoom into their face, change the way their mouth looks, make them smile happy or upset. You also can change their positions. So for instance, if I go down here and I click on preset poses, I can move to whatever form works for that person. So if I want them walking down the hall, that will be set that way. Also, you have the option of moving that around too, but a lot of times when you're moving around, if it gets really distorted and it's not what you want, just go back to those preset options and reset it to something that you can work with and start over, okay? Once you're there, you can also edit the colors of their clothing and change that by clicking on it and then clicking on whatever color you want. Yours has an option that mine no longer does, where once you're clicked on the sign, there's an orange tab over here that allows you to change the looks, and you can go through and change the whole entire outfit to make it look something different. That's also an option. Once you're done with that, you have props. So you can go in and just like with the scenes, you can search for a specific prop, or you can find something that would work. So like here's a stage. If I wanted to add a stage into it, I can resize it or change. Possibly resize it. No, it's just not gonna work. If it doesn't work for it, you also have remove from scene where you can trash it and then go back and try again with a different. So what is this? They have several different options that you can arrow over. Or you can just throw a boat in here. And so I can put the boat in the hall. Obviously that doesn't work for your scene, but you can look for instance, like the spray cans or the clipboards or different things that you would need for your props for Agatha Rex. Another thing I want you to do before you go any further is that here it has the option of retitling. Title it Agatha Rex. And then your scene number. So if you're scene 3, put in scene 3. Okay, that way we know which one you're talking about, and when I go back to organize it, it makes it a lot faster for me to go through it. Now, today you're gonna do your very best to get this done and finish it. That paper that I had you write down the information on, remember you're turning that into me, but if you don't finish it, Ms. Patterson and I decide to be very generous and allow you to be able to work on it until Friday. However, we will not be able to work on it in here. You'll have to take it with you and work on it either at home or come back to the library during before school or after school times where you can work on it, or during lunch. I will write you a pass so you can finish it. But do your best to get it done today, okay? And then I will go out or go through, pull up your scenes, print them out, and we'll put together a book of your different scenes for this play, okay, when it's done. Remember to keep in mind that as you're creating these scenes, your goal is for somebody to be able to look at that comic strip that you've made and understand what's going on in that scene. If they've never read the play before, they should still be understanding what's happening. Okay? So do your very best to make it understandable. Can't think of any other things at the moment. If you have questions, Ms. Patterson and I are very excited to help you out and work with you on this. Okay? Anyone have any questions real quick? All right. Go ahead and start working, start creating, and the more you play with it, the better you'll get. It gets fun.
We only have to do 3.
Yeah, those ones were.
Okay.
I don't know. I think this game will go.
Who's that?
Dr. Coleman. Do you, whenever you're done with the first one, do you just press the green check arrow thing?
But I actually said that we're on the next scene.
To go to the next one, like so.
Go ahead and do that.
Name this character. Oh.
If you click on her again and then click on the green at the bottom of the line, you reset the position.
Losing this girl. She's deleting.
Okay, hold on.
I'll train her to.
Okay. We'll see what's happening.
Oh wait, is that right there?
Oh, it is.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just go to the top. So you just want that one, and then delete the extra ones first. But this is new. This is put there.
Oh, thank you.
Zoom into her. Okay. And then change the look. So what are you trying to do with her shirt? Do you want to change out the shirt or change the color? Okay, so you can hold. Oops. Change looks and then put down here. Or you can just click on the shirt. And then pulse, it'll show a different option for trims. So click on the left tab. And then just roll your finger just slightly more. Does that make sense? Okay. And you do the coloring in similar ways. Move that down. And that allows you to both zoom in and out.
Wait.
So if you zoom out, then you can move that. Yeah.
Wait. Oh, I could use it.
And then you can zoom back in when you have it set. What, sorry?
Like before, like see how it's white, but when I stretch it, it extends the picture.
Okay.
Just like
So
not that long.
try zooming out a little bit. So now take that and kind of resize it. Make it bigger. And use both fingers. There you go, like that. And you can actually change the background here. And then change it to the same color as up here. And then you zoom in to where you're just seeing the wind. Okay?
The school colors are green.
Wait. Touch the screen.
Okay. So you can delete him obviously, but
I need
oh, that's who you wanted? Okay.
to go with like
With that too, remember that you can change their outfits and their appearances. So yeah. So let's have that one. So click on him. If you click on the orange down here, you can change their whole outfit. And then you can go back and change colors afterwards. Okay? Also, one other thing. Look at it real quick. Click out of it one more time. Click on the pink one. You can change like his width and height as well. So if you want him to be a little bit heavier looking, more tall, that helps with the proportions. Okay?
We're not going to be able to decorate till morning. We're not going to be able to decorate till morning because they're doing lessons all day. So I'll just come out the park and treat them early in the morning and help them. Yeah, it is what it is. No big deal.
Then when you click on the arm, actually click on that to zoom in. closer to the body. No, not the face, the other one. There you go. And then you can click on the arm and move it now.
Why do
That's okay. Click on her again. Click on edits. Her expression.
What did Terry look like, Ms. Patterson?
Well-dressed woman. Very wealthy.
So it zooms into her. Not the face, the one that shows her whole body. Okay, and then move her arm down. You know, click on it with one finger and then drag with the other finger. There you go. Does that work? Oh, so now you can put her into the position that you forgot something. Okay. Also, if you click on her, you can change her entire outfit. Click on that and then click on the shirt. Then you can change your outfit to something else if you need. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.